Hi gorgeous souls, and welcome to our Solar Conversation number 68. I'm gonna jump right in today. If you haven't met me, if this is the first Solar Conversation that you are watching, just let it sink in. Take from it whatever you want to take from it, whatever resonates. My name is Annika, and I open my channel Monday to Friday every single day, and I hop on live, and whatever needs to come through comes through. Today, when I tuned into the energy of the conversation mixed with my own energy, which is quite low at the moment, I'm like, I don't know, I had a really good night. I slept a long time. I had a good nap this morning too. Like, I slept low, and still I feel sluggish. It's probably all the astrological things going on at the moment, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse and all the things. I don't know, whatever is going on in my body at the moment, I'm just, there's no high energy today, and still there's a message that needs to come through, and it's so clear. Like, I was on my yoga mat just before I hopped on live now, and what I kept hearing over and over and over again was, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. So my message to you, my conversation that I want to start with you is, stick with it. Stick with it, even if it feels hard today, this week, this month. Even if there are no results yet. Even if you're the only one who can see where it's leading and everyone else is like, you're crazy, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Stick with it. It reminds me of something that I said on the live yesterday. On the last Solar Conversation, we talked about my back, right? And how it took 6 months, almost 6 months of stretching. It's like 5.5 months of daily stretches, like daily stretches 3 to 10 times depending on the day and how much pain I was and how much I felt like, okay, I need to do this, how urgent it was. It took 5.5 months for my back, for the stretch to actually show a result. And there were days I didn't want to do it. There were weeks I didn't want to do it. There was so much resistance against it. There was like, fuck, really? Do I need to do this again? Why is this pain returning? Oh, I forgot my stretches for the last 3 days. So it's like consistent action every single day. I'm like, no, I don't have it here, but like, I will show you my scarf. I will finish it this week. My second ever scarf I knitted, will be finished this week. And the only way I was able to finish this was committing to 1 row, at least 1 row a day. Some days I manage, 10 rows. Some days it's only 1 row, not more. And that's okay too. But I committed to 1 row, and slowly, surely, stitch by stitch, the shawl grew. And some days I didn't want to. Some days I didn't feel like. I was like, oh, I really don't want to. In the evening, like at 9 o'clock, and I'm in the middle of the row, and Ori wakes up for the 5th time, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I go and I calm her down, and I come back. And then I'm like 3 stitches in, and then Aiden shouts for me, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to finish this row. But I did every single day. So whatever you're doing right now, wherever it's getting harder, wherever it's like getting messy and you feel like, oh, this is too much out of my comfort zone, or this is too hard for me, or it stretches me too thin, the conversation I want to bring in today is, 1, stick with it even if there are no results shown yet. Even if there is nothing shown right now, like, trust that in the background the universe is doing its magical thing. Life is at the works and everything is happening in the background. So show up every single day. Show up for the priorities that you have, for the things that are important to you. You really think I wanted to hop on tonight? I'd rather not. And at the same time, I was like, no, I committed to do this, and I will show up no matter if my energy is high or low or whatever. And so I did. I showed up, and my energy has already lifted in this short conversation that we were having, right? The other thing that I want to say with this is I'm a process person. So on the, like, there are different spectrum on the manifestation blueprint, and one of them is outcome on the one side and process on the other side, and every single one of us is somewhere on that spectrum, right? Outcome people, they can look at the outcome and then they go like, okay, in 5 months I need this amount of money, and I like that. When I chunk it down, that means 3 clients per week, whatever, or month, and then they just do whatever they have to do to get their outcome. So they can really trace it back and chunk it down, and like this works for outcome people very, very well. People on the other side of the spectrum, people process people, they need to enjoy the process. So they can't just make themselves do it, whatever it takes. This is why it's so, like most books on manifestation are written by outcome people, because writing a book is not really an enjoyable process. I mean, like, you can find workarounds, definitely. There are a couple of process people out there who like more on the process side of the spectrum who have found ways to write books, but most information out there, most books on manifestation out there are written by outcome people, because they can finish, like they can look at the outcome and go like, okay, I can sit through this, I can do this. I can even see it in my relationship with Dennis. Dennis is like, I'm very far down here, like on if the process people, like process, completely process is 0 and outcome is on the spectrum is 100. I'm at an 14 or 16, something like that. I'm very far down here on the spectrum. While Dennis is more in the middle field, like he's 65, so he's even more into the process, into the outcome side of the spectrum. So when it comes down to to manifest things, he can sit down and he can sit actually through things that are so not enjoyable. Like the editing part of writing a book is fucking hilarious when you go through that book for the 3rd or 4th time, and it like goes back and forth between the editor and you, and it's like, oh god, I'm not looking forward to that part when it comes to my book. So, but here end conscious language here, and the point is that I need to find ways to make it enjoyable, to make it a beautiful process for myself. I do this with my writing at the moment. I sit down with a good cup of tea. I sit down and I put some beautiful music on that lifts me up. I make sure that the room smells nice, that it's nice and warm, and I'm not cold. Like all these things. So I get to know myself and I get to choose what makes a process feel better for me. So even if there are no results yet, even if you're showing up every day and it's really, really hard some days, then my tip is, if you are with me on this half of the spectrum, like further into the process part of the spectrum, make the process enjoyable. Like for me, I just made sure that I take care of my own needs first. Like everything. I have everything done. Like my hot water bottle is there, lying on the couch. I know after this life I'm gonna sit down on the couch and relax and maybe knit, maybe draw. I have a call scheduled afterwards with my love. We're having our Wednesday date call. It's nice and warm in here. It smelled lovely, and I was on the yoga mat beforehand, so my body feels nice and good and well tended to. All the machines are on, the dishwasher is on, the dryer is on, like everything is on, everything is taken care of. So after this, I only need to do whatever I want to do. And so I made this process on hopping on and sticking with my commitment to hop on every single day, Monday to Friday. Even when my energy is low, even if I don't feel like it, even if it's not my first choice, it's my priority, right? So wherever you put your priorities and you have committed to something, stick with it and make that process as enjoyable as possible to guarantee that you have that outcome, that you see the results at some point, that you show up every single day for yourself and the things that are important to you. That's my solo conversation for today. I would love to continue this conversation and many more and exchange information and really go deep and go into the sticky parts and say like, I know sometimes it's so hard to show up, and here's what I do. What do you do? What do you like? I'm building a community called Alive. Tuned in, turned on, Alive. It's starting on the 21st of March. It's €66 for 66 of these conversations, and we're gonna have real conversations, not like I'm reading your comments and then replying to them. No, we're gonna meet on Zoom, we're gonna see each other, see each other's faces, and we're gonna talk to each other. So I'm really excited for these conversations. I miss conversations that have depth and that are not surface and that are not about the weather and not about how old my kids are or what's for dinner or like all these like everyday fucking same shit every single day, same words every single day. I'm bored and I need some fun and I need some soul food, and I need some conversations with women who get me and who understand the law of attraction, the laws of manifestation, the laws of the universe. I need women who understand the process and the outcome spectrum and understand that I can't sit down and just do the thing. That I need that, like, to make that process enjoyable. And sometimes I need somebody to tell me, stick with it. Just stick with it. Show up. Do it. Which my spirit team did for me today. And said like, you want this, so stick with it. We gave you the roadmap. You know exactly what you need to do. Now stick with it. Show up. Make the process as enjoyable as possible. Even if you don't see the results yet, stick with it. So there's another thing I need to do actually after this, but I'm really looking forward to it, and that is play some more with my watercolors. Even though I don't see the point with it at the moment because I'm not really good. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm learning, and there is a reason for that because apparently I need that knowledge at some point in my life. We'll see why and what. I'm sticking with it. So there is no offering page. I'm taking your suggestion on, Sarah. Sarah suggested instead of sales page, I say offering page. And then I came up with like invitation page, but offering page actually sounds really, really great. So there is no offering page yet on my website about Alive. If you want to join in, there are a couple of women already gathering for this beautiful community. If you want to join in and be a part of Alive and be a part of these conversations that we will have every single day for 30 minutes. So I will show up directly after my meditation. I will show up for 30 minutes straight and be there for a conversation. There will be replays of the conversations if you can't pop on live. They will be 11 to 11:30 a.m. my time, so Berlin time, because I'm in Germany. That translates into your time zone. You have to do the math about that. But if you want to be part of that community, and you already know that you want to be part of that community and you can feel the energy of it, then message me and I'll set you up for it. That's it from me for today. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Remember to stick with it, and remember that you are loved, you're guided, you're supported. There's so much in the background that we can't see. So simply show up for your priority every single day. And I'll see you tomorrow for Solar Conversation number 70. Here we go. Take care. Mwah.